Hello everyone, welcome to our video. Today, our group will share about our studies regarding the current issues in internal auditing that relates with whistleblowing. First of all, let me introduce our group members, Muhammad Fakrul Haziq, Liana Muhammad Jafar, Wan Nur Najiha, Nur Raihana. And now, let's begin. And now let's proceed with introduction. This study discusses the current issue in internal auditing that relates with whistleblowing. In this study, a company in Malaysia has been chosen, which is Chubb Insurance Malaysia Berhad, who is the world's largest publicly traded property and casualty insurer. First, a discussion on the definition, advantages and disadvantages of whistleblowing, and related standards that are associated with whistleblowing policy are being included in this report. This study points out the current issue that the company currently faces and discusses the main findings on how the company deals with such kind of issues. It outlines the purpose of research questions and the basic research model. Other than that, Chubb Insurance Malaysia Berhad is closely monitoring the spread of the COVID-19 coronavirus and continually reviewing guidance issued by government health authorities and seeking to minimize any disruption to the clients, agents and brokers while ensuring the safety of its employees. Next, let's move on with definition. In Article 1, Wan Najwa Arifah Wan Ahmad Faiz Ahmad at the year 2017, which is the impact of organizational trust on whistleblowing intentions at Malaysian Enforcement Agency, stated that whistleblowing has been defined as the disclosure by organization members, former or current, of illegal, immoral, or illegitimate practices under the control of their employers to persons or organizations who may be able to effect action, although it seems to be hurtful to organizational interests. Whistleblowing may be managed to develop organizations. In Article 2, stated that whistleblower refers to an individual within an organization who reveals negative information about the organizations, its practice, or its personnel. The information may relate to abuse of power, fraud, mismanagement, waste, corruption, racial or sexual harassment, or health and safety danger. Okay, last but not least, in Article 3 stated that whistleblowing is an act of a man or woman who, believing that the public interest overrides the interest of the organizations he serves, blows the whistle that the organization is involved in corrupt, illegal, fraudulent, or harmful activity. And now let's move on to advantages of whistleblowing. First, exposing unethical behavior. The whistleblowers serve a vital function in government and business. These activities can be made public knowledge, which can contribute to the transparency of violators. The added scrutiny that comes with criminal investigations, civil lawsuits, and media attention may impact the conduct of similar organizations. And number 2 is legal protection. The federal government's Whistleblower Protection Program protects employees who disclose violations of various workplace safety, environmental, financial reform, and security laws. Companies found to be in breach of laws for the safety of whistleblowers may face penalties, termination of government contracts, and civil litigation. Okay, next is disadvantages of whistleblowing. First, diminished career prospects. There may be a downside to the publicity that a whistleblower case brings, both to the employee and the company. The outside world can see whistleblowers as heroes for exposing unethical conduct. They may be seen as disloyal or indiscreet by business insiders and hiring managers for not keeping corporate information and industry practices under wraps. Second is personal complications. Whistleblowers act sometimes suffer personal problems as well, other than serve the public good health. Legal problems can force them to hire lawyers to protect themselves because of criminal investigations and civil litigation against the company. Former co-workers may receive threats of retaliation. This may cause severe health problems and fractures in their relationships.
Let's move on to the related standard of Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. So, what does this act do? So basically, this act is to combat corruption and other wrongdoings by encouraging all sectors to disclose corruption, ascertain disclosure of improper conduct, and provide protection to whistleblower who reveals corruption activities. Okay, other than Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 for related standard, we also have Code of Conduct by the IRA. So basically, there are four. First is integrity, second is objectivity, third is confidentiality, and fourth, lastly, is competency. So, for our main finding, we found out that Chubb Insurance Malaysia Berhad is the world's largest publicity traded property and casualty insurer, and also provide a comprehensive range of general insurance solutions for individuals, households, and also businesses. So next, Chubb Insurance Malaysia Berhad also has an extensive branch network and more than 2,600 independent distribution partners, and also set up a whistleblowing policy and procedure to report any improper conduct that may be illegal to the company's reputation. So, what and who is whistleblower? Whistleblower is an individual who knows or suspects improper conduct of his company and must ensure that the disclosure is made in good faith and free from any malicious intent or personal gains, and Chubb improve its processes and solve the problem quickly. So, what is the procedure to report such any suspected malicious act? So basically, we can complete the whistleblower form and send it to Chubb website, or report directly to related government or regulatory authorities enforcement in Malaysia as prescribed by the Act.
Hi, let's proceed with how does Chubb handle the information provided. Chubb promises to ensure that all information disclosed, including the identity of the whistleblower, is regarded as strictly confidential. The appropriate party will carry out the inquiry. The investigator can contact the whistleblower during the investigation for additional information to assist in the investigation. The organization will not be willing to act upon if the whistleblower is unable to substantiate its claim with credible proof. Thus, appropriate corrective or disciplinary action up to and including termination will be taken where a finding of improper conduct is made. Next, protection of whistleblower. Chubb is committed to ensure that whistleblower is not disadvantaged in any way for raising genuine concern about the improper conduct. A whistleblower will be protected from harassment, retaliation, victimization, and recrimination where they make a report in good faith and where it can be demonstrated that there are reasonable grounds for the belief that improper conduct has occurred. During these unsettling times, Chubb reinforced its commitment to client and business partner. Insurance company and their business partner are needed more than ever, and while some of Chubb employees are now placed on a work-from-home schedule, where they are still ready to provide the best possible level of service, Chubb is closely monitoring the spread of the COVID-19 coronavirus and continually reviewing guidance issued by the government health authorities. And furthermore, they seek to minimize any disruption to the client's agent and broker while ensuring the safety of its employees. Okay, now let's see the roles and responsibility of the internal auditors. Internal auditor is an ironical for a profession that is in unique position in organization to prevent, deter, and detect corporate wrongdoings and malpractices. Furthermore, some researchers argue that the reporting made by internal auditor is not considered as whistleblowing, where Pearson, 1998, advocated that the reporting of illegal activity within organization by internal auditor to higher management, board of director, or government agency be referred to as an act of whistleblowing. Last but not least, they are also required to adhere to the profession's ethical requirement and to the needs of other stakeholders. Therefore, it is essential to examine the factors affecting internal auditors' reporting intention, as there is limited information about the complexity underlying the internal auditor whistleblowing decision.
Hello everyone, my name is Nurahana binti Baharudin, and I'm about to present to you guys about whistleblowing cases in Malaysia. So let's go! So this case involved a deputy director of a business operated by the Ministry of Higher Education was accused today at the session court, causing a whistleblower to be sacked by the MACC, who revealed the former misconduct. The first person to be convicted under the Whistleblower Act is Wafi Abdul Aziz, pleaded not guilty before Judge Azman Ahmad. Wafi is a senior official at EMGS, had taken adverse action against the person who blew the whistle on him at the MACC. He alleged the company chairman to sign a termination of job in revenge for exposing the anti-graft agency to his unethical conduct. He was being charged under Section 10(3)(b) of the Act that carries a fine not exceeding 100,000 or a period of imprisonment not exceeding 15 years or both. The MACC public prosecutor Muhammad Afif Ali offered the defendant no bail, saying it was serious and non-bailable crime as well. He said the prosecutor suggested 30,000 if the court was still to grant bail. The amount of bail determined by the court should reflect the severity and seriousness of the charge against the defendant. We asked the court to retain the amount of bail at 12,000 and the additional reporting requirement to the MACC, which previously sat under the MACC Act for Wafi case. Azman then made the accused 15,000 bail in one security and retained the previously defined additional condition. The accused is also prohibited from bothering any of the prosecution witnesses throughout the trial and until the disposal of the case of Judge said. On October 20, Wafi case will be up for reference. To conclude, this study shows how the company deals with whistleblowing issues in terms of reporting improper conduct, reporting procedures, ways to handle information, and protection given to whistleblower. As this study only explores certain variables, further study needs to be conducted in examining other potential variables that may enhance internal auditor whistleblowing intention. As for recommendation in terms of scope, practice support expansion with advantage to include suppliers, customers, and other stakeholders, while for reporting lines, providing different alternatives facilitate disclosure. This might include line managers, senior management, and an external service provider such as Protect. With that said, this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time.